Hello, Audio Marks, coming to you from the Sachem Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy and CJ, two casuals turned Marks wrestling fans, to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. Enter the ring at your own risk. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I said!
And we're back.
Hey guys, welcome to another week of Marks for Life podcast. I'm one of your hosts, CJ.
And I'm your other one, Jimmy.
And this week we're here to talk to you about Survivor Series #Under Siege. I am excited for this pay-per-view. At the very beginning, this pay-per-view looked little tepid, little like, oh wow, Jinder versus Brock.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that would have been a decent match. But I think what we're getting now is a million times better, and I would rather watch this one.
A lot of the card changes in the past couple of weeks have really brought this...
The past couple of days.
That too, which we will be getting into. In addition to that, we have a lot of news to cover, a lot of signings, potential returns, actual returns, and releases. We have a lot of things to talk about. Other than that, how you been?
Been all right. Just working on more distribution of the podcast and stuff like that. School. Man, the end of the semester is coming up, and yeah, just a lot of ugliness there.
Yeah, let's not talk about that one.
But I'm doing like a Friendsgiving kind of party thing before Thanksgiving. I think when this podcast is recording on Thursday. Oh, no, Friday before Thanksgiving. That's when we're doing it. So that ought to be fun. Get to eat a little bit, make some biscuits. Big fun.
All right.
What about you? What's up with you?
Just really school. Going to an anime convention later on. At the time of this podcast release, when this podcast is released, it will be the day before. It's out in New York City. That's going to be a lot of fun. Pretty much it. On a wrestling note, I am a Yu-Gi-Oh player, and I'm building a wrestling deck, #Gokis, which just wants me to bring to one of the things that I've been saying before. Japan has such a great appreciation of wrestling compared to the United States. United States, they're very big on like football and basketball.
Japan, I don't know about football right now, but
let's not go. But in Japan, wrestling is the number one thing. They have television shows based off of it, which is called Tiger Mask W for any anime fans out there who know what I'm talking about, as well as the original Tiger Mask series. They actually have wrestlers from the anime come in to like Wrestle Kingdom to perform. Kota Ibushi was Tiger Mask W, and it's really cool. And then they bring wrestling into Yu-Gi-Oh and everything like that, which Yu-Gi-Oh is based off in Japan. And it's just a lot of appreciation by Japan.
The U.S. needs to step up their game. Like WWE needs to be the forward front people into bringing wrestling back into the mainstream again.
Yes.
Like, yeah, we get that. Like, there's a lot of really good indie shows out there. Ring of Honor, PWG, the new U.S. shows that are going to be happening for NJPW, which is going to be exciting coming next year. But, like, we need to get back to a place where wrestling can be looked at as, like, not high art, but at least, you know, it can be appreciated properly for what it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of having the same goddamn arguments with people that are saying, oh, it's fake. Be like, yeah, no, duh, it's fake. But, there's no difference between that and every other great American television show that's ever been aired.
Meanwhile, they're wearing an Iron Man t-shirt.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Also, it's also a better sporting event considering football season this year is trash. Basketball just started, but, I mean, it's off to a not-so-great start. And my Rangers for NHL is not that good, and baseball's boring. So, and then you have UFC, which is like, I mean, if you're not Conor McGregor, I mean, what, is it really that good? I mean, they just brought George St. Pierre back, and he's probably the best welterweight champion of all time. He's like, actually, I think you probably know GSP. You've seen Winter Soldier. You know the bad guy that they fought in the first scene on the boat, the bald dude.
Oh, really?
That's George St. Pierre.
Wow.
Also, if you've ever seen one of his matches, like he does this incredible stomp, just right on the chest, just bam.
Isn't that illegal?
No, not in UFC. not in the early days of UFC. But I don't know. UFC, I think, is losing its kind of touch just because it's being, I don't want to say polarized, but it's losing touch. And I feel like wrestling it's a prime spot for wrestling to like break through and get back in there.
Yes.
Because I remember when it came to like, wrestling being outside of like WWE and stuff, we had like Mucha Lucha, and that was it.
Lucha Lucha was an awesome show.
Yeah, I know. And I wanted to come back. I feel like it's such a great intro to like bring into the world of wrestling again. And then hopefully WWE with like the surveys that they came out with like a couple months back, does more interesting content when it comes to that. But
that's our little rant.
Yeah, a little rant about, how America doesn't, step up their love and appreciation for wrestling in comparison to Japan.
Yes.
But let's move on to the actual podcast because I know that's what you guys are here for. So one of our first things of news is that Neville's reportedly coming back to WWE.
Yeah. There have been multiple reports across different sites, Pro Wrestling Sheets, Bleacher Report,
PW Insider.
Yeah, a lot of reports coming in saying that Neville's supposedly coming back to the WWE. This comes off a recent hiatus where he was actually reported to have walked off the Raw tapings and was set to leave the company. This came about after having to lose the championship to Enzo Amore, the Cruiserweight Championship, and then set to lose against him in a lumberjack match on that Raw, as well as stemming from a lot of neglect for the past 9 months because he's been not really receiving the same opportunities as he feels like he deserves and has been asked nothing of the company and has done everything the company's asked for him, and he feels like he has not been given the same respect and treatment. But with Neville coming back, reportedly, how would you like to see him figure in?
I mean, if he's coming back, I would like to see him start from the bottom and get back to being the king of the cruiserweights again. Just literally Braun Strowman the hell out of the cruiserweights. That's what needs to happen.
Do you want to see him come back to the cruiserweight division, or do you want to see him come back in another capacity?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. The problem, it's not so much the problem with the cruiserweights, it's that the cruiserweights is still being segregated in it of itself, and it's not breaking out into other quote-unquote divisions within WWE. And I think, like, the best comparison I could give it to is TNA's X Division. Like, at least those X Division stars can wrestle, like, outside of their division.
Yeah,
and it's still really good. It doesn't matter the style type. Like, we understand, like, the division itself can only be cruiserweights if they want to get the cruiserweight belts. But in order to break out and become superstars is to, interact with people that aren't cruiserweights. So, I mean, what I'd like to see happen, like, coming the new year and stuff like that is this interesting tag team of Swan and Alexander. I would like to see them compete in the tag team division. No?
No, I agree. I agree that, like, the cruiserweight is a very exclusive division. But, like, you can see that with a lot of the other divisions. The mid-card champions can compete with main eventers. Main eventers can compete with lower mid-carders. Tag teams can compete with different singles wrestlers and stuff. There's so many. And to not include the cruiserweights into that kind of just shows the low priority they have of the cruiserweights. I don't think, though, Neville should come back to the cruiserweights. I feel like he should just get drafted to SmackDown.
give the Sami Zayn treatment.
Between him, Sami Zayn, and freaking Kevin Owens, they could run SmackDown.
They could literally be like the NWO. They could literally be the Bullet Club of WWE.
Yes.
Just the three of those guys.
And then
I would absolutely love that.
And then Jimmy Jacobs comes as their manager.
Oh, God. That'd be amazing if that happened.
But you see, I feel like Neville would get more love over there, too. And imagine him as the heavyweight contender against AJ Styles for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, I would love to see that. it's definitely going to show that SmackDown is more of the wrestling show,
Yes.
and Raw is more of a show about wrestling. I think that's like the common terminology when people talk about Raw and SmackDown. And not that Raw is bad, it's just when they have certain stars, it's just
They have to push those stars.
Yeah, exactly. And there's other better stars that they could be pushing, and they're not doing it. So, I mean, not that they weren't pushing Neville, but like as soon as Enzo showed up, they're like, oh, he's good at merch sales, and like let's just give him the belt and see what happens. Be like, it's a stupid decision.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next piece of news, which was a signing, but not for WWE, but for Bellator, as Jack Swagger signs with Bellator.
A lot of people are saying that this could potentially be one of the better transitions from WWE to MMA. A lot of other people that have tried to make that transition, CM Punk or Kid Cash, come to mind quickly. They didn't really succeed. They kind of got their asses whooped really quickly.
Yeah, but Punk's not going to give up, and I have no idea if Kid Cash is even still doing MMA.
I have no idea. But Jack Swagger, I feel like, might be on the same level as Brock Lesnar in that transition.
Well, I mean, he is a actual all-state wrestler, I believe.
2-time All-American.
Yeah.
2-time All-American,
yeah,
collegiate champion.
Yeah, he was named All-American in 2006. Yep.
Yeah, he's got a lot of the he has a lot of the potential to do well, especially with the legitimate sports background that he has.
Yeah, like that was the real problem with Punk. He didn't have that background. And not to say that that was the only reason why Punk lost. It was just if he had a background in actual wrestling or he took way longer to train and stuff like that, or if he started off in a lower, company instead of UFC, he probably would have had a better opportunity to succeed. But I mean, his ambition is what ultimately got him the loss.
Yes.
I think with Swagger is that he has a better fundamental background when it comes to fighting, whether that's wrestling, and he can just learn any kind of boxing or kickboxing that comes along with it.
Yeah. But grappling will probably be his strongest suit between the different wrestling moves that he knows and the counters. I'm pretty sure that he's going to be one of the better grapplers.
That's true. Also, because of the signing with Bellator, that there could be speculations of him showing up at Impact. So
that could be interesting.
Yeah, because he's going into the heavyweight division, so that's the same division as Bobby Lashley. So it's possible that
Lashley versus Swagger
in both wrestling and in MMA. So there's a possibility of cross promotional bounds for that.
That'd be interesting too. I could see them both benefiting from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Let's move on to the next thing, which is
there has been a sighting of Paige.
This is our house, my house. This is exciting.
So Paige was spotted at the Raw tapings, which led many to believe that Paige was to come back for the Raw team. Actually,
I was so pumped to see her on Raw,
but she didn't make an appearance. Instead, Bayley won the triple threat against Mickie James and Dana Brooke. Now, people are wondering, why? Where's Paige? It turns out that the reason why Paige was not used is that Alicia Fox spoiled the surprise by Instagramming this photo.
Which, of course, got heat.
Of course it did.
I mean, can you really blame Alicia for that? She's seeing her friend that she was on Total Divas with for a very long time.
I think that what they should have done is they should have just promoted Paige's return.
Yeah, they should have done that. But I think what they're going to be doing now, speculating for Survivor Series, is that she's... I mean, should we talk about that now? Or
not yet.
All right, so we'll talk about what we think what will happen with Paige later on in the show. But, I mean...
I'm glad that Paige is back at the Raw tapings or SmackDown or whatever they're going to use Paige in. I'm glad they're going to use her in some form of capacity. She was one of the starters of the Women's Revolution.
I mean, technically, she is the only pillar left of that first start of the Revolution. Emma's gone now, and Paige is the only woman left standing for that.
She kind of was also the that bridge too, as Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella and Natalya and Naomi.
Yeah, the old guard, and then she was that weird transitional bridge for
yes.
The new age of women wrestlers. And I feel like that's also like a detriment because that's ultimately why she didn't fit in as well. It was strange. Like when that whole women's revolution started, I mean, it started off in kind of like a weird place, but as it progressed and stuff like that, she was kind of like left behind.
Yeah.
In comparison to like the Four Horsewomen or like
Alexa
Carmella
Bliss,
and
Carmella, Asuka, Nia Jax.
yeah, exactly. So hopefully when she comes back, automatically starts going after, I mean, whichever brand she goes to for like that title, or if she goes to Raw, I would like maybe not to go straight for Asuka, but like
I want to see Asuka versus
but like
Paige.
next SummerSlam, I would say Asuka versus Paige if she ends up on Raw.
That would be interesting because Paige is a very hard hitter, and same with Asuka. And the matches they could have would be brutal.
I would very much like to see that.
Yes.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
The next tidbit of information we got is that the Young Bucks keep pestering Punk to join the Bullet Club.
Although, in the Young Bucks' defense, they got a point. Like, as soon as if CM Punk goes to the Bullet Club, the Bullet Club T-shirt is like the #1 best-selling wrestling T-shirt of all time.
And they have total creative freedom too, which is nice as well.
I mean, I don't know how much of that creative freedom is going to go towards like Punk spattering off against WWE.
I don't think he would do that.
No, I think I don't want to say he learned his lesson, but he definitely learned something from when he did that on Colt Cabana's podcast. So
I don't even think that. I think that he.
I mean, did you hear his podcast?
Yeah, I've heard both of them. Both of his. I think that it's been 3 years.
Yes, but neither Punk nor Triple H lets go of grudges that easily.
I know, but like the way I'm looking at it is that Punk's already moved on.
Yeah, he has moved on, but
he's moved on from WWE, potentially wrestling, and if he were to come back, he's stated in the past he would love to come back to New Japan, Ring of Honor and stuff. And to come back, he would be celebrated as a hero. He would be able to have a lot more creative freedom, a lot more of it won't be as rigorous of a schedule. He would be top priority. You know, he would get everything he was not promised in WWE.
Well, he would definitely get that in Japan. I don't know if he would get that in Ring of Honor though.
No, he would get that in Ring of Honor. He was one of the founders of Ring of Honor.
No, I know that. It's more like money-wise, like can Ring of Honor actually support that? That's what I'm saying on that. I'm not saying like Ring of Honor wouldn't do that if they had the funds and stuff like that. I'm saying logistically, I don't think Ring of Honor could do it. New Japan, I think, absolutely would. Oh,
yeah. He would. Going back, Japan truly appreciates wrestling. It truly appreciates wrestling, and it treats it as its mainstream attraction. I feel like CM Punk would just get much more appreciation for his work there than compared to something like WWE.
But I think the fans appreciated CM Punk when he was in WWE. I think it was more getting passed over for like big opportunities that really would have projected him to be like on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
I'm talking about the company. I'm not talking about the fans.
Yeah, of course.
The fans will watch it no matter what. I think like he needs that appreciation from the company.
Okay, look, I just want to put this out here. Like, this is completely fantasy and not based in reality whatsoever. Let's say Punk does go with New Japan.
Yes.
If he shows up to, let's say, what was it? What's that?
Wrestle Kingdom?
No. What's that one in the U.S. that's going to happen in March? It's like Strong Style Evolution or something like that.
Okay.
What if he shows up to that? Would that help them jumpstart their U.S. conquest? If I could say that.
I definitely think it would be a major boost because the United States fans are they're a very raucous crowd, and they do contribute to a lot of New Japan sales. A lot of it. As much as Japan contributes to New Japan, the U.S. also contributes a strong amount as well. To have Punk on there debuting at one of their first American-based shows would do wonders for both New Japan and I'm assuming Ring of Honor because they have that working relationship. It would boost both of them and really boost the independent scene that America has. Meanwhile, Punk would still be making probably the same amount of money that he's been making at WWE, but he would get top billing. He would get a lot of merch sale exclusive. He would get so much more perks for doing that. And more than likely, he would be doing something like Like who would be a good example? Like he wouldn't get a Brock Lesnar schedule. He would probably.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
He's probably getting more. He would probably get more of
But I don't think he would be a part-time wrestler.
No, I would think he would be like a Hogan NWO.
Okay. Yeah.
Be,
Okay.
You know, where Hogan would wrestle once a month, defend the title, but you would see him like he'd be that special attraction, but he would still wrestle like once a month, defend the belt, or once a month be like, oh, you want to talk smack? I'll be, I don't think he's gonna go for like months at a time. I think that he's gonna be like that special attraction, but it's like a more available special attraction. I can definitely see him coming to the Bullet Club and feuding with Kenny Omega over leadership. That would be amazing. Or I could see him feuding with Cody Rhodes.
Him feuding with Cody Rhodes would be amazing.
But him versus Omega.
Yeah, that would be good too. Or going straight for Okada for the belt.
Again, the possibilities.
Go straight for Okada.
The possibilities are endless, and Matt Jackson even said that he talked to CM Punk about it once.
I mean, he's still in conversation with him.
Yeah, he talked about how CM Punk. He told him how CM Punk told Matt Jackson, "Hey, if I ever was to return, you would be the first one I'd call." I don't know. I think he's still trying to do the UFC thing, but I think that he may come back eventually.
Yeah, I believe that. Okay, and the last piece of news is they announced after what was it? After how would I say this? After AJ winning the belts from Jinder and just having some interesting numbers for ticket sales in India, they've combined the shows for the India tour, so it's only one date now. And instead of Jinder feuding for the belts, it's going to be against the game Triple H.
That's going to be an interesting match. I really wasn't expecting that. I feel like this is better for Jinder than getting the belt back.
Yeah, I think it's better for him as a character. I think it would have been better for India and like trying to market the network and stuff if he won the belt. But I think for Jinder's career and stuff like that, and even still, bringing WWE to India would still be good.
Yes. What do you think prompted all of this?
I think it was basically the past couple weeks of everyone not being fully into Jinder versus Brock, and then AJ winning the belts, and then India tour tickets sales were not good. Because I think that's one of the reasons why they combined the shows. Because I think they're only doing one.
I think they're doing two.
I think the original plan was to do two, but I think they're only doing one now. I don't know. I'm looking it up now.
Okay. So, all right. So, how do you think the match is going to be though? Triple H versus Jinder Mahal.
I think it should be strictly social media based. Because I loved how they introed like Triple H challenging Jinder and then Jinder accepting. I thought it was done really well. Yeah, it's December 9th is the only date for the tour. Yeah, that's the only one.
That's interesting.
Hold on, I'm still looking up other things, but honestly, I think it's still going to be good for Jinder, though. Honestly, I don't think that there's going to be any problem with. I mean, he's facing against a top guy, and Triple H is a smart businessman. He knows that he's going to have to put Jinder over.
Yes, he was. If he wants to make him
if he's going to make him the pride and joy, the Maharaja of India, the modern day Maharaja, he has to.
Yes.
And he's a smart businessman. He knows what he's doing.
I hope it does well for Jinder's career. Jinder has the ability to get legitimate heat. He works an old school style that when put against other opponents, it could work really well. And his mic skills are improving, but he needs that character boost. He needs that one shot in the arm. And he got that with AJ, but it needs to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope Triple H can give him that.
The show for India is going to be December 9th in New Delhi.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's going to be on the network. I don't think it is. I think it would be interesting to see the match, though. I don't want to say pay money, but I would definitely go on the network. I don't know.
Well, this kind of segues into another conversation. Another topic that we have on here, which the returns.
Yes, there were some pretty big returns that happened, at least on Monday.
Yes, we had Bray Wyatt coming back in no fanfare to beat up Jason Jordan. We had Roman Reigns come out to participate in a 6-man tag match against the Bar and the Miz, which I actually had to remember because they really should have saved that for Survivor Series. But you know what? Fuck all.
They're getting the New Day. I mean, is it that bad?
5 years after their debut, they make their return as a unit. There's more money in that.
Yeah, that's true.
And Raw has shoehorned that a lot, revealing the Demon King on free television last year with Finn Balor. That's like the biggest. They've done so much, like the Sasha Banks title win on Raw.
The Sasha Banks title win was good though, because they had to maintain Charlotte's winning streak.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like they keep shoehorning, like they keep just like giving stuff away on free television. I don't like that. But the biggest thing I want to talk about, Triple H returned on Monday Night Raw, replacing Jason Jordan after Jason Jordan got his ass whooped and his leg broke by Bray Wyatt. Angle was forced to kick Jason Jordan off the Survivor Series team, but Triple H did it for him, then pedigreed Jason Jordan's ass and said, I'm going to be the 5th member, which instantly gives a Survivor Series boost. There's something that I want to talk about, though, before we get into the Survivor Series boost. I believe this marks the 5th or 6th event Triple H has worked in the past couple of weeks.
Let's see. Which ones have you done? Can you list all
New
of them?
Chili. He's done the Chili events. He's done a couple of those because he's replacing Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of the Shield, Survivor Series coming up, as well as the India tour. And he did one a couple of days ago. I believe it was like Sacramento or something like that. He's doing a lot of WWE live events. Could this be prepping him for an in-ring return?
Well, I mean, we are getting that at Survivor Series. So, yeah, those ones before that.
Not what I mean. I mean like a more...
Like an established character, like on Raw or something like that?
Yeah, like a heavy instead of like a corporate.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it depends what happens post Survivor Series. Because I feel like that's what's really going to make or break that decision.
Would you like to see Triple H in a more full-time in-ring capacity?
Maybe not full-time, but... I don't know.
Like a once a month type of thing?
Yeah, once a month I would like to see him like pick like a new guy. I don't know. What I liked about I guess the only comparison I could think of, what I liked about John Cena doing the US Open Challenge was that he brought new guys, and he may not have got them like the wins or anything to get them the US title, but he put them over pretty bigly.
Mm-hmm.
And if Triple H could do that like once a month with a new guy on either Raw or SmackDown, I wouldn't be too upset by that.
Yeah, that I would enjoy that because Triple H, it seems that he's prepping himself for a more consistent in-ring.
Yeah, like he's doing some of the best work he's done in quite a long time. Like you could say like his early stuff was decent, or like his mid-2000s with Evolution were alright, but like right now he's doing the best in-ring and the best mic work. Like this Triple H is doing the best mic work ever.
Yeah. So, which begs the question. How do you think he's gonna go in Survivor Series? Well,
no, we'll go with that with our picks, because that's opening a can of worms that I think would
best
really
be saved later on.
Exactly.
But what do you think of him being on the Survivor Series team compared to Jason Jordan?
I think I agree with you that it does boost it, but at the same time it kind of gives away like what's probably gonna happen. I'm not going to go into too much details until we talk about Survivor Series more, but
it's definitely interesting. I feel like though Jason Jordan could have gotten the boost more than Triple H.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know exactly what that's going to do moving forward until post Survivor Series again.
Yes, which we will find out this Sunday.
Exactly.
The next thing I want we should bring up though, we should save one of them for the end. You have a topic on here called A Real Monster Ball. Could you elaborate on that?
Yes. So the main event, I believe, for Monday Night Raw was Kane versus Braun Strowman.
Ah.
And it was another heavy-hitting classic, courtesy of our big man on the thing. Hold on. And taking on the Monster Kane. I actually don't remember the exact thing of it, even though I watched Raw this week.
He put Kane through the ring.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Power slammed his ass.
That's right. I forgot about that. So, they got sent to hell for, the week until, they come back at Sunday. So
Well, Braun Strowman made an appearance like literally right after he got out of the ring, and he goes, Braun, and then he went
Hell
out to
can't contain the monster among men.
nothing can contain the monster among men. But,
oh
like,
my god.
This is another example of him like just giving him more of a highlight reel. And I haven't seen something like this since remember Bam Bam Bigelow versus Taz in ECW?
Yeah, I do.
Remember when he was just they were both put through the ring? It's like that, except it's Braun. And Braun is literally on his way to becoming one of the best big men of all time. The amount of commitment WWE's shown Braun is astounding.
He just there. God, I'll show you this clip later. But there's a clip of I forget if it was a Royal Rumble or a Battle Royal WCW, but it was Vader, and he gets like pushed over the top rope. But instead of like going backwards, he actually does a flip and comes back into the ring as a big man. Yeah, and if Braun Strowman can do that in the next Royal Rumble, he would automatically be the best big man of all time.
You know what I would like to see him do? Like, him and Roman are the final two, and he just destroys the ring ropes, just so this way it's much easier to throw Roman over the top rope, and then Roman just spears him off the ring.
Oh, God, that'd be so great. Book it, WWE. Book it. That'd be great. I want that.
Like, if you want a highlight reel, make them the final two, and then have Braun Strowman just tear the ring ropes off, and
like have them brawl for a little bit, and have Roman like on the ground. But then Braun Strowman's looking around and be like, this ring ain't right, and he literally destroys the turnbuckles and the ropes. I'll guarantee you that will be a Royal Rumble first, and it will be probably the most memorable moment of 2018. That would be amazing, and
and then you can give Roman the win, you give Braun the moment.
Or like he spears him out of the ring, and then Roman gets saved by like the announce table or something like that.
Or you have Roman spear him, and then have Braun hit the ground first before Roman.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like Braun hits the ground first, and then yeah, okay, yeah, I see your point.
Yeah. Either way, Braun's gonna hit the ground first. There's only so much extra you can throw in there before it becomes too much. But Braun is literally on his way to becoming like having a Hall of Fame highlight reel, and that's saying something. A lot of people have Hall of Fame like matches. Not a lot of people have Hall of Fame moments.
Yeah. I think Braun Strowman already has like a really good match and several good matches under his belt that are Hall of Fame worthy, and probably like one or two moments that are really good. If he
one or two, ambulance. Destroying the Big Show and then coming back up. Steel caging the Big Show. Ambulance turning it over.
Good moments, not like Hall of Fame worthy ones.
I don't know about that, man.
I mean, Mark Henry did the same thing to Big Show. I mean,
yeah, but Braun Strowman stood up afterwards. He wasn't carted out like Mark Henry. He just got up and goes. Braun is literally the god of highlights.
Yeah. Speaking of a highlight that happened this week, well, no, we'll get to that.
No, save that one for the end. I want to save that one for the end.
Okay,
that's a somber one.
Okay. So
that's what I'm trying to save. We have a new champion in Charlotte Flair after she defeats Natalya in her hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, hold on. I'll let you go. Yep.
There we go. Hold on, wait. She won the Smackdown Women's. I love button pressing, but what a match! That was great, and like unlike the other title changes, this one kind of felt like genuine. Like it wasn't there for the sake of the title change. It was there for like Charlotte.
Yeah, it was definitely a different feel to whenever Charlotte won the other women's belts. So
yeah, the Raw Women's Championships.
It definitely felt different. So I'm pretty glad about that.
This is the first time a hometown hero has won a belt in a while. We're talking to you, Sasha.
But again, it changes the Survivor Series card.
Yes, to now Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair, the only two women to have won both the SmackDown and the Raw Women's Championship, which I'm excited for. What did you think of this title change compared to something at Starrcade?
I think it would have been. I guess as a viewer, I was happy to see it, but I think it would have been better, better for the show itself if she won it at Starrcade, because I feel like that card right now is really screwed up, and I have no idea what's going on right now.
Do you think that the start? I don't know. I disagree with you on that because I don't know. I feel like the hometown victory.
Well, it still would have been a hometown victory. It's just it would have been at Starrcade, and it would have been at something that her father was a part of, and it would have been in it would have been what, North Carolina?
Greensboro,
North Carolina.
But it's not her hometown.
It's semantics.
Hometown, man. Hometown. Charlotte. Literally, she's named at the goddamn city.
I don't know.
That's like if Natalia was named Toronto and won the belt in Toronto, Canada.
I mean, I'm happy about that. It's just, I don't know. There's something sentimental about Starrcade and a Flair winning a championship at Starrcade that just seems more right than winning it on a SmackDown. I don't know. I'm happy about it. I'm not angry. I think we're going to get a much better Survivor Series match out of it. So I can't complain too much about it.
No, you can't. But speaking of SmackDown and Charlotte, Under Siege Part 2.
This one was way better than the first. Way better.
Oh my god. Like, I got scared. Like, here's the thing. The Shield comes out
to disrupt the New Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yes, and KO and Zayn run. Just bear that in mind. They ran again. They're like, we don't want part of this.
They out.
The Shield wrecks New Day, then wrecks the Usos. Then the Bar comes out and wrecks the New Day and the Usos. And then it's the entire... Then you see the Raw women's team and Alexa Bliss go into the locker room and beat down on the entire SmackDown women's roster.
And they did a much better job than the first week of the women doing that, because the women, I think, for SmackDown, there was like 3 of them, and they were taking on
no, there was like 5. There was like 5 on 5. But like in a
straight
up
now
contest.
I'm saying like the original Under Siege of like SmackDown invading Raw.
Yeah.
But this one was a lot better, and it got me so pumped.
You know what I wish they did, which they didn't do? Because here's the thing. The SmackDown women's they were all destroying all the divisions. All the rosters came out and were fighting each other. They didn't go out to the announcers.
Well, I don't think they could. I mean, you had Corey Graves, who's playing both sides.
Byron Saxton. Tom Phillips. And Corey Graves like, yo, I'm on both of your sides.
I think after what happened to Justin Roberts by Daniel Bryan, they're never doing that again.
He's a ring announcer, not a commentator.
It's still the same thing.
No, that'd be great.
No, it would be great. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying WWE's never going to do
Imagine
that again.
Byron Saxton getting attacked by Kurt Angle. You left my show. I got traded, I swear. And then Corey Graves is just like, no. Aw, Byron, no. Like, I could just imagine Corey Graves just being there like, thank God I'm on Raw too.
What I did like, though, on the other hand, was Kurt Angle and the Shield beating down on Shane McMahon.
Yes.
That was awesome. It was good to see a real good Angle slam again.
But,
like a real good one.
But there was one thing we haven't mentioned, and that's... No joke. As soon as that came out, as soon as I heard the music, I'm like, I had chills. I'm like, SmackDown's gonna die. Like I didn't.
Wow, they just.
I didn't realize that before, and then I realized they built up Braun's show so much that as soon as I heard his music, I'm like, SmackDown's gonna lose. How are they gonna win? Like it wasn't like last year where like Braun's like, oh, he's green. Now Braun is like.
Well, last year he was awesome, but we didn't know how awesome he was until after the Survivor Series match.
Like I'm just like after a year of build up between this past Survivor Series and this upcoming one, it's just like Braun's gonna murder everyone. Like there's no, like who could stop him? Shinsuke got destroyed in a second. McMahon got an unlimited amount of onslaught. John Cena lost.
Like there's
Randy Orton's a broken man that's just one shoulder surgery away from retirement.
Oh my god.
And Bobby Roode just needs James Storm for a freaking beer after this match. I am scared. I am so scared for this. Like it could just be Braun Strowman versus all 5 of them, and I'll be like, Braun Strowman's gonna win. I am so scared.
If they don't do something similar to what they did last year, for Braun Strowman being eliminated, I have no idea how Raw is gonna lose, because they can't have Braun get pinned this right now. They can't.
I'm so scared.
He needs to win a title first, and then he can.
What's
lose.
he gonna? He already sent Kane to hell.
I came back up. I'm not finished with you yet.
I'm scared.
Survivor Series is gonna be so good.
I don't know. I don't. What's Braun gonna do? Who's gonna stop Braun?
Well, I guess that's a perfect.
Is it gonna be Bobby Roode's gimmick? Is it gonna be his entrance? Like,
well, I mean, the one thing that would have absolutely stopped Braun Strowman, unfortunately, is no longer with WWE anymore. James Ellsworth has, what did he ask for his release?
No, WWE
or released him.
Yes.
Which is, I think, pretty sad. I think James Ellsworth was initially the best thing. Like, if it wasn't for James Ellsworth, we wouldn't have Braun Strowman what he is today.
I think that I'm upset James Ellsworth got released, but James Ellsworth had a pretty good run with WWE.
As a jobber, yeah, he had a fantastic run.
He beat the WWE champion on 2 separate occasions and then challenged for the championship belt. He's part of Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he was the first women's Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah, first ever Money in the Bank winner for the women's division.
First intergender match in quite a long time.
That
lost.
I think that James Ellsworth, and he has been very humble about it. He knew his role in WWE, and he was just even grateful to be there. That was the best part. He was always very humble about it, and we will miss James Ellsworth. I know my dad freaking hated it. He is like, James Ellsworth should not even be there. I'm like, for what it was worth, James Ellsworth was great.
For what, I mean, he fulfilled his role. He was a jobber, and then he became like that arrogant like manager, and then he became like the whipped manager, which I felt like that would have been a great if it progressed a little bit more, and then Carmella like officially ending it. But it was still fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, he did pretty good work. Like, there were certain points where, like, you got sick of James Ellsworth.
Yes.
But, like, there were moments, like, what he did at Survivor Series last year by holding Braun Strowman outside of the ring and then him being counted out was by far the greatest moment of his career. Like, he's going to get into the Hall of Fame solely for that as soon as Braun Strowman becomes a Universal or World Champion.
I want James Ellsworth to induct Braun Strowman into the WWE.
Oh God, yes! If they're both still alive by like that whole time frame, absolutely.
Braun Strowman comes out and James Ellsworth's just like, no. But we will miss you, James Ellsworth. We will miss seeing you get your ass whooped on WWE.
And of course, any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance.
Unless both of his arms are broken.
And just gets immediately squashed.
Hashtag Becky. Straight fire.
But, I mean, he's definitely going to be missed. So, good luck, James.
You know what this means? He won't interfere against Asuka.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man. Couldn't you guys just waited like a week?
Who knows? Maybe they, like, just sprinkle that in, like, yeah, they're releasing him, but, like, he's getting, like, a 1-day contract for Survivor Series.
That's the only way I want Asuka to, like, get eliminated.
I have a theory if they actually do that, which we'll talk about in our predictions about what I think. If they let James Ellsworth stay in for like 1 night,
yes,
I'll go with that later. I'm not gonna spoil it right now, but
all right, we're gonna take a break, guys, and then we're gonna go straight into our Survivor Series predictions. Hello, Audio Marks. I'm here to talk to you about Patreon. Patreon is a website dedicated to giving more power to the content creator and their patrons who support them. By giving them an avenue of direct support, these creators can create any kind of art with Patreon. Music, drawings, videos, and yes, podcasts. There's no middleman. So please head over to our page on Patreon, Marks for Life Podcast, to support us with a $2 donation. With this donation, you can get all of our podcasts on our page, and you can get a special shout out from ourselves, Jimmy and CJ. Or you could just do the regular dollar donation just to support the podcast. Now back to the show, Audio Marks. Thank you very much.
And we're back.
All right, guys. We are now going to get into our Survivor Series predictions. Let me just run down the card for all of you, Marks. We got Enzo Amore versus Kalisto for the Cruiserweight Championship on the Survivor Series kickoff show. We have Sheamus and Cesaro, the Raw Tag Team Champions, versus the Usos, who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions in the first brand warfare. We have the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, taking on the United States Champion, Baron Corbin. The WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte, versus the WWE Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. We have Raw's Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns of
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta,
versus Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E. SmackDown's New Day. Where is it? We didn't have It's a New Day. Yes, it is, but shame.
We'll get it. We'll
Yes.
get it.
We have the Raw Women's elimination. Blah, blah, blah. We have the Raw Women's Survivor Series team, captained by Alicia Fox. We have Bayley, Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, and Asuka versus the SmackDown Women's team of captained by Becky Lynch. We have Naomi, Tamina, Carmella, and there's a mystery spot on there now because Charlotte is now SmackDown Women's Champion. And then we have the Raw Men's team captained by Kurt Angle. We have Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and we have Triple H versus the SmackDown Men's team captained by Shane McMahon. We have Randy Orton. We have Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, and John Cena. And then finally, we have the main event of Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, taking on SmackDown's WWE Champion AJ Styles. What a stacked card.
This might be the best Survivor Series in quite a long time. Like, last year's was good. This is infinitely better.
I'm excited. This is gonna be lit.
All right. Let's break this predictions down. All right. For the first one, Enzo versus Kalisto. Who do you got and why?
Enzo Amore. He has too much going for him. He's too much of a merch cow. And I don't want...
Merch cow.
Yes, I have no desire to see Kalisto win the Cruiserweight Championship. I think Enzo's going to win. Hideo Itami's going to debut. Beat up Kalisto. We're going to get a Kalisto Itami feud.
Wait, what?
There are reports of Hideo Itami coming to Survivor Series.
Hideo Itami.
Yes.
No freaking way. If that happens, I'll mark out. No way.
There are reports of him debuting relatively soon on the main roster. And what a better way than to beat up Kalisto after he loses.
Okay. All right. That would be pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
So, and then Enzo Amore feuds with maybe Mustafa Ali or, finally Cedric freaking Alexander or Neville when he comes back. But I think Enzo Amore does better for the Cruiserweight division on top as the champion rather than Kalisto.
Agreed, which is why I'm also going with Enzo.
Okay.
The next is The Bar versus the Usos. Who do you got and why?
I'm going to go...
Do I need to give you a little time on that?
Yeah, you go.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Usos. As much as I like The Bar, and they recently just won, so they want to keep that momentum going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel that the Usos are just gonna win in general. It's possible that as soon as after the match is over, that Gable and Benjamin come out and attack him or something like that, and maybe spur a little rivalry heading forward afterwards. So I don't know. To me, I feel like the Usos need it. Not that they need it more, but basically that.
I'm gonna go with The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, just because of the reason you said. But I feel like Gable and Benjamin will cost them the match.
Yeah, that's very likely.
And I feel like The Bar has more to gain, and I feel like The Bar could do. I don't know. I feel like The Bar could set in motion the Raw win.
That's true. Yeah.
I think the Usos, this could also help them turn face, because as much as they're great as heels, they're getting a lot of...
Well, I think they're already at that face kind of angle right now because of what happened with them in New Day. So.
And right now, Benjamin and Gable just remind me of those annoying little, they're just those annoying little people... those sports jocks from the 80s?
Yeah.
Those annoying guys that just think they're so...
Meatheads.
Yeah, I think of them. That's what I'm thinking of. Usos are the cool dudes and stuff. Freaking oh my god. The dude from the Breakfast Club, the Bender.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, The Usos kind of remind me of that, like that rugged, old school street fighting. And then you have the Gable and Benjamin.
And they're Emilio Estevez's character in The Breakfast Club, as your analogy goes.
Yes, with a hint of the nerd.
With the hint of the nerd. Okay. All right.
I don't know. I see. I don't know. I think the Bar's gonna win.
You bring up a good point, and I'm not gonna argue against that. But I mean, I still think you're wrong, but that's not the point. But let's move on to the third one, which is The Miz versus Baron Corbin. Do we have the same person? I think.
I don't know.
I'm going with The Miz.
I'm gonna go with Baron Corbin.
Really?
Yes, The Miz can take a loss. Baron Corbin can't.
I mean, he kind of already's been. I mean, I guess he won against Sin Cara, but
He won against Sin Cara.
that's really it. I mean,
The Miz beat both of the Hardy Boys.
all right, all right. And I think that it would be perfect if The Miz wins, and then as soon as that kind of ends and Monday Night Raw comes back, I don't know. What's ETA and Jeff coming back?
I have no idea.
Do you think it's post Survivor Series?
I think we have another couple months.
All right. Or would it be more interesting to see instead of Hideo Itami going to the cruiserweights that he would go right for The Miz?
Hideo Itami?
Yeah, Itami.
I think that'd be good, but I think Hideo Itami is better as a disgruntled, like, Japanese man.
He is a disgruntled Japanese man.
I know. That's what makes him awesome.
Yeah, you're right on that. Okay.
I think Baron Corbin, though, I think he just has the advantage overall, though. Like, given that...
I mean, you're forgetting the Miz Taraj.
You really think Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel can stand up against Baron Corbin?
I mean, enough of a distraction for the Miz to get the victory. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going with Baron Corbin. He has too much of a size advantage, and I feel like that between the fact that he could use the win more than the Miz, and oh my God, I would just love to see Kurt Angle berate the Miz on losing against Baron Corbin while Miz is talking so much shit. I would love that.
That's true. Yeah.
And then, like, to punish Miz for, like, just... Because I feel like Miz would then rip on Kurt Angle. Miz would just get booked against Braun Strowman in an Intercontinental Championship match, and we would get that the next night on Raw.
Because Braun Strowman is Intercontinental Champion. That's
Yes!
what you're saying.
Yes! That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, actually, I would like to see that, yeah. I'm not changing my thing, but I still think it's the Miz. I don't know.
I'm going with Baron. I don't know. Baron needs it, and I feel like Baron could do well with a U.S. title win.
I don't know. I think he was talking too much shit about the Miz's unborn son, and then it just makes the Miz a babyface.
You're gonna need some of those bad moments, though. You need the heel to win.
I don't know. I mean, Enzo's gonna be winning.
Yeah, but then no one likes Enzo.
All right, fine.
I enjoy Baron. I want him to win.
Oh, fine.
Just because I want to see like what happens the next night on Raw.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on to the fourth one. Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss. Do we have the same person for this one too?
I'm going with Charlotte.
Oh, we do have the same person.
Yeah, I was originally gonna go with Alexa Bliss
until
the title change.
That's what I was banking on.
Like, Charlotte has so much. Like, she deserves to win this. I feel like it'd be great, especially with Alexa Bliss finally getting some form of comeuppance.
Some form of comeuppance. I mean, she did just like she did like hit her really hard, like the very last thing during the Under Siege Part 2 thing that happened on SmackDown.
I am excited for this match though. This is one of I'm excited for all the matches, but this is one I'm especially excited for because this is two of the most promoted women of 2016.
17?
2016.
16. Okay.
Look at everything they've accomplished.
Yeah, you're right.
They've partaken in steel cage matches, Hell in a Cell matches. They've partaken in WrestleManias as their respective champions. Oh no, Charlotte wasn't champion. Bayley was champion. Forgot because stupid WWE pulled the trigger a month before. I don't know. They have so much going for them right now, and I'm so excited for this match because they're like, oh my God, it's
literally the top of the women's divisions, like
versing each other.
Yeah, like it's a little different from the Brock and AJ one because these are legitimately the top of their division. I'm not saying that like Brock isn't like top of the division, but like he gets his own special bracket because he's outside of like the division.
He is the division.
I mean, yeah.
You have the heavyweight, you have the main event division, then you have the Brock Lesnar division.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I am super excited for this match. I'm praying Charlotte wins, and this will do so well. Do you think that Carmella will cash in?
I think. Well, I mean, it depends. If she does,
Mm-hmm.
and Carmella gets the title, then you have to wait until Starrcade for that championship to be on the line, and then Charlotte would win again.
Now, do you think that Carmella should now cash his Starrcade?
Oh, that'd be such that'd be such a good idea.
Here's the thing. What I just thought of? Charlotte's coming out for her entrance. Carmella beats her up, throws her in the ring, cashes in.
And then faces Alexa Bliss. That's
No, not.
Oh, no,
This is at Starrcade, so it even robs Starrcade of getting a flare.
Oh, yeah, that. Oh, everyone would hate that. Yes, I would very much like to see that.
Ooh,
I don't know. I'm not gonna be there. Are you? And I don't think they're televising. Are you gonna be there?
I have things I have to do that Saturday.
So you can't.
I'm also broke, so I spent all my money on going to Raw, which the Undertaker won't be there for.
Or I don't know.
Or
maybe we don't.
I'm hoping.
Don't really know the full details of the.
I wish they would release that.
Yeah, I know. I wish too, but
Yeah.
they want to keep it a surprise.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next match: The Shield versus the New Day.
Oh my God.
I think we have the same thing for this.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
Has to be them.
Yeah, it has to.
It has to, because this is their 5-year anniversary. 5 years since they made their debut at Survivor Series.
The New Day doesn't need the victory.
I think the Shield. This is their reunion tour. They cannot lose yet. They cannot.
It's the reunion tour. They're like a band.
Yes.
The Shield
The
on the reunion
Shield.
tour at Survivor Series.
Yes. I really think they're gonna win.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's
It's hard to really pinpoint that they are gonna lose.
mhm.
Like, how would that even work? Like, I understand like the whole 50-50 booking argument, but
Mhm.
there's just some things you just can't do this soon. And if WWE's smart, they wouldn't do it too soon.
Yeah, I think the Shield. It's gonna. I think they're gonna keep going for a while. I don't think the New Day needs the win. They kind of got the better of them so many times. So I don't know. I'm putting my money on the Shield.
Agreed.
The next item that we have is the Raw Women's Team versus the SmackDown Women's Team. Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Asuka versus Becky Lynch, Naomi, Tamina, Carmella, and a mystery partner, as well as being accompanied by Lana.
Okay.
So,
There's a couple things that could happen.
yes.
There's several women that can take that spot. There is Lana, which is not going to happen.
No.
There's Natalia, which is the obvious choice.
Yes.
There's possibly Nikki Bella. Possibly.
There's
she's the-
possibly. She is
and
part of the
then-
SmackDown roster.
The one that we want to happen is Paige. Absolutely.
Yes.
I feel like that's what they're going to do.
I think they're going to go with Paige because the
They-
original plans were for SmackDown.
I mean, I think originally it was for Raw because she was on the Raw roster.
Yeah, but there was a lot of talks of her being on the SmackDown brand coming back.
Mm.
And then they put her back on the Raw team. I don't know. I think that they're going to put her on the SmackDown brand.
I think going forward, because, I mean, post Survivor Series, I think they're doing another superstar shakeup.
Yeah.
And possibly maybe call-ups, which is why we think Hideo Itami is going to be coming. Or at least you'd think that.
I'm excited for that. I would hope Paige wins. Paige returns at Survivor Series.
Agreed.
Who do you have?
This is where it gets troubling. Because on the Raw team, you have Asuka and Nia Jax.
Yes.
And I can't imagine Asuka losing. Like,
Mhm.
even in this capacity. And if James Ellsworth was still around, she would be the one to cause Asuka to get eliminated by a countout.
I have another idea for that, though.
Okay, I'll let.
wait.
Well, and that's what I figured. So if James Ellsworth was around, that would be happening. But he wouldn't get his comeuppance quite yet because he's just a little bit faster than Asuka. Just a little. Doesn't happen until later in the night when he does that again to Braun Strowman. And then he gets caught by both Braun Strowman and Asuka. And then as he's getting kicked and power slammed through a table, Asuka and Braun Strowman's eyes meet in a crazy love thing and then starts off that love affair.
That's
right there.
horrible.
No, it would be amazing.
That's horrible. You shouldn't book.
That it's not going to happen because James Ellsworth isn't there. But that's what I would have thought.
Who do you think's gonna win, though?
I can't imagine the Raw not winning. It's too stacked.
Who do you think would win? Who would be? This is gonna be a 2-part prediction. Who do you think's gonna be the sole survivor, son?
If Raw wins, I would say Asuka, Nia Jax, and Banks.
And Banks.
Yes, because Bailey's probably going to get eliminated along with Alicia Fox. I imagine Alicia Fox is going to be the first person to be eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can imagine Bailey like just missing like Sasha tag in or something like that, or like something like Sasha accidentally causes Bailey to get pinned or tapped out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then because that feud's just waiting to happen. So I can imagine like those three being like the last ones staying around.
Mm-hmm.
But if the SmackDown wins, I would say whoever the mystery person is, which I'm assuming is going to be Paige
Mm-hmm.
and Becky Lynch. And that's it.
But who do you have winning? That's what I'm-
Again, Raw.
So it's Raw with Banks.
Nia Jax, Asuka. I was about to say Alaska. I don't know why it was. Asuka and Sasha Banks as sole survivors.
I'm going to go with the opposite. I'm going with SmackDown.
Really? You're going to go against Asuka?
Lana.
Asuka. So Lana's going to be the James Ellsworth in this situation for
Yes.
the women. All right.
Yes. And I think that the final two...
Well, I would think that she would do that for Nia Jax first because Tamina would have already been eliminated, and then
I think Tamina and Nia Jax might eliminate each other.
well, that's what I'm thinking that Nia Jax eliminates Tamina, and she gets rolled out of the ring, and then she walks out for something because she's facing the next person on the SmackDown team or whatever, and she's about to get in the ring, and then Lana does that whole James Ellsworth thing.
I don't know.
That's how I would imagine that.
I could see Lana doing that for Asuka instead. I feel like maybe Tamina and Nia Jax would eliminate each other. Nia Jax gets rid of Tamina. Tamina
soon
then
as-
super kicks her in the face. And
Well, as soon as Tamina gets eliminated, I mean, then there's really no point of what is it? What's the face? Lana doing that.
Lana is still just accompanying the SmackDown Women's team, so she could just still be there playing a factor.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine that Lana would stoop down just to help the team itself when her person's already been eliminated. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, they did beat her up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Um,
depends.
But my final two for the SmackDown pick, I got Paige, if she makes her debut, the mystery person, and Carmella.
Okay.
Because Carmella needs some boost. And I feel like after her losing James Ellsworth, and with Starrcade coming up and her cash-in possibly looming, I feel like that that she should
Okay. I see your point. Okay.
unless no, she would still win. But what if she won as the SmackDown Women's Champion?
What? So they would have the
cash-in.
they would have the match, and Charlotte, let's say, wins, but she's like badly beaten. Then Carmella cashes it in, and then goes. Oh yeah, I would absolutely love to watch that. Oh God, I don't know if that's what they're planning, but man,
There are two scenarios now that could happen.
that'd be a lot of moments of like going. I can imagine us being on the couch wherever we're watching this, going literally up and down, and then panting because we're that excited, and it's just taking a lot of our energy out.
I'm going though with Paige and Carmella. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
The mystery. Carmella has to win. Carmella has to win the SmackDown team. All right, so next we had the Raw men's team. Kurt Angle, Triple H, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe versus what's his name?
Shane McMahon,
Yeah, Shane McMahon, Bobby Roode,
Shinsuke Nakamura.
yeah, Nakamura, John Cena, Randy Orton. Who do you got?
I mean, I think they, unlike the Raw one, I don't think there's going to be, unlike the Raw women's, there is going to be a major interference. My brain is going, which one is it going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be Jason Jordan getting Kurt Angle or Triple H? Or is it going to be Owens and Zayn for Shane McMahon? I don't know. I'm going to go with Raw again because I feel like that's another safe bet because of Braun Strowman. And I feel like because of the pedigree that Triple H gave to Jason Jordan, that he's kind of an X factor kind of out of that. And I feel like the X factors that are going to be in play are going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Okay.
And that's my opinion. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with.
Or what do you? What's your?
I'm
pick?
going with Raw.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Braun Strowman as the sole survivor.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah,
I'm going
solo
with
survivor.
just because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are too much of an X factor to ignore. Jason Jordan can cost Kurt Angle his spot as a sole survivor, but
And not to affect the whole team though.
yeah, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will literally like cost them everything.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Okay.
Yeah, there's just too much with that that I can see. And then possibly Neville making his debut to attack the SmackDown, and then make his debut on the SmackDown roster at Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, all three of them together.
Yes.
And then taking down. Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think that Braun Strowman though is going to be the sole survivor.
I'll agree with you on that. I'll agree.
I think that yeah, I think overall that's gonna happen. Braun Strowman is too hot. I just feel like Finn Balor and Samoa Joe are gonna eliminate themselves. I have such
I'm not gonna rule that out. That seems like a possibility. I feel like now that Jason Jordan's out of the picture, Finn Balor's like the most likely one to get eliminated,
You know what I just realized?
along with Bobby Roode and Shinsuke.
Triple H gets to face all the guys I want him to face.
Oh yeah, Shinsuke and Bobby Roode. Oh boy, I can only imagine that stare down. Like, hey, why do you look like me? I don't know. Why do you look like me? And then getting in the ring with Shinsuke, be
And
like,
then we get a rehash of this Randy Orton and John Cena versus Triple H matches.
oh yeah,
That's gonna be good.
oh, and the rehashing of John Cena versus Kurt Angle.
Ooh, Kurt
Yeah.
Angle versus Orton.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We get Kurt Angle versus Bobby Roode in WWE.
Ooh, and Kurt Angle versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the first time.
Oh man, there's gonna be some good.
But
Samoa
Joe
Joe versus Bobby Roode.
Samoa Joe versus John Cena, like officially.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of good potential here.
Finn Balor versus Nakamura again.
It-
Finn Balor versus John Cena.
ooh,
You know, I want to see that at Mania.
I'm not gonna lie. The Raw men's is like the best like Survivor Series team that we've had in quite a long time.
It's very stacked, but at the same time, you have
You know which people are gonna most likely lose, but you're gonna be okay with it.
yeah. Oh my God, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
And then we get on to what we believe is going to be the main event. I don't see.
I don't think
Um,
anything else could take it.
Yeah, I really don't. And it's Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles.
Universal Champion versus WWE Champion.
All right, who do you got and why? No, we didn't fix that.
Suplex City, bitch.
I really think it's gonna be Brock Lesnar, but I think it's gonna be a competitive match, and that Jinder might interfere and cause AJ the win.
That's a possibility. I don't know. I'm gonna go Black Sheep. I'm gonna go with AJ Styles.
You're gonna go with AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I hate putting wrestling as a factor into this, but there is unofficial precedent for Brock Lesnar losing at Survivor Series.
Yes, this is why he needs a win.
Yeah, I know, but this is also the reason. Like, I mean, he's facing off against AJ Styles, and AJ Styles, if AJ beats Brock Lesnar, I would much rather have that happen than what happened last year with Goldberg beating Brock Lesnar, because the person who I really do want to be like the top wrestling guy in the company would get that like privilege of the guy who beat the Undertaker's undefeated streak, the guy that beat Goldberg, you know, the guy that took Brock Lesnar bell to bell and Samoa Joe, and not the best of those matches, but still pretty good. Also, this is AJ Styles, in my opinion, the modern day Bret Hart, who can literally put anybody over.
I think that we're gonna get a fantastic match out of Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles. I just don't think AJ's gonna win.
You know, like a
still,
10-minute match, I would say.
still a good match.
Yeah, it'll
But,
be
like-
good. I don't think that like it's gonna be terrible.
I think though
think it's
Jinder's
gonna
gonna
be good.
play a factor and cause AJ the win.
Maybe. That's a possibility. But I don't know. There's also a possibility that, you know, I mean, it's not for the belt. It's not like Brock Lesnar is going to get the belt for some reason. So there's just as much precedent for Jinder going up against Brock.
Here's the thing. I feel like that Jinder's gonna interfere in this match, and I have a sinking feeling he's gonna interfere in the other match too.
Which other match?
The one Triple H is on.
Oh, oh God. If he does that, I will. Oh, God.
I don't know. I just feel like Jinder Mahal's just gonna be that pest throughout Survivor Series.
I don't know. There's a lot of pests going on. I don't know. I feel like it depends on what, I don't know, during like the pay-per-view, if Paul Heyman does like a little like promo or something like that and then calls out Jinder, I feel like, yeah, Jinder Mahal is going to interfere in that match. I feel like that's the mark of like knowing what's going to happen.
I think I'm gonna put my money on Brock though.
All right, that's fair.
I think we disagree on like
we disagreed on a lot, really.
we disagreed on the tag team, the mid card, and the SmackDown.
The women's
and the women's match. So that's
and
three.
and Brock versus AJ.
Oh yeah, 4.
So that's 4. So, I don't know. There's a possibility of like a tie for that. What do you want to do? I mean, do you want to include
we're
Soul Survivors?
Yeah, we're gonna include Soul Survivors.
Are we gonna include Soul Survivors like a point for each person we get correct, and then no points for the person that's not there or is there, or how are we gonna do that?
I think that.
So
I think if we win, because I feel like the elimination match is gonna be the key factor.
yeah, the elimination match is really
So
gonna be the real
it's
key.
like whoever wins,
and then whichever Soul Survivors around that you picked.
yeah, that we picked correct.
Okay, that's fair.
So you picked Nia, Sasha, and Asuka.
Yeah.
And I picked Carmella and the mystery.
Yeah, mystery person. I'll chalk it up to mystery because
Yeah.
labeling at his page is a little unfair.
Yeah.
So I'll agree with that.
Okay. So that'll be the decision. Like if we get any of the Survivor Series ones correct.
That's correct. But then what are we gonna do next week? Are you gonna still be around for next week's podcast, or?
And I will not be. I will be flying out Friday morning.
Okay, so then Friday morning. Okay, so then I'll just do a quick rundown of the
Okay.
card then.
I'll bring the belts on Sunday.
Yep.
Show them in your face. That I win.
All right. So, yeah, that's the podcast, guys.
See ya.
And that's the bottom line. 'Cause Stone Cold said so.
Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audio Boom, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Radio Public, Spotify, Google Play Music, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. And now check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for our podcast playlist and new content coming soon. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, our Tumblr page, Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any questions or comments. Until next time, Audio Marks.